Hi there, I'm Dr. LaQuita, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I talk about all things in between being and becoming a pharmacist. How you doing? You all right? Look, I'm about to say come to another edition, but it's not an edition. It is welcome to, let's go through this Vlogmas. So, over the past few days, I've been talking a lot about reflection, being grateful for what we survived in this year, honoring what we have accomplished, and simply getting honest about what we're really wanting when we're moving forward. We talked about reflecting on 2025. We talked about who we're becoming. We talked about alignment, and now it's time to actually talk about the goal setting for 2026. Okay? Because one thing is this: we can have we can have the clarity, but clarity without action just what will keep us stagnant and let us not move. Okay, so we got to move forward. Now, one thing I realized by myself and about so many high achievers is that I work with is that we love the idea of a new year. We love saying things like, I just want peace. I want to feel lighter. I want joy. I want freedom. And those things are beautiful desires. Don't get me wrong, they are beautiful. But feelings don't just appear. They usually result of intentional action, okay? So today, we're bridging the gap between how you want to feel and what you actually need to do. And that's because the thing is here. One of the biggest things I've learned is that one of the biggest mistakes I see people make in goal setting is trying to fit everything all at once. They set 10, 15, 20 goals, and they want to achieve all these things by March. That can be exhausting. That increases discouragement. And then we often get to blame others. We don't want to do that, right? So here's the rule for 2026. We're going to do set no more than 3 to 5 goals for the entire year. That's right, 3 to 5 goals for the entire year. It's not about shrinking our vision. It's not. It's about protecting our focus. It's about being as concise as possible. Okay? So your goals should come from different areas of your life, not all just one lane. So examples be, you follow me before, I called the 5. Well, I'll say some examples just simply like career, money, health, lifestyle, your faith, relationships, your purpose. I like to put mine in category with the 5 L. So you had me mention what field was aka career, finance was money, fitness was health, faith is faith. Faith is faith. In relationships, family, friends. I like to put them in those kind of categories for me because it makes it easy. It's like a flow, right? So for 2026, I want you to pick 3 categories that matters the most to you right now. Take a moment. What else are 3 categories? Now for I'll say I list a lot, but we're gonna use faith, fitness, family, friends, finance, and feel. Of those, what are 3 that's gonna flow? Pick 3 of these categories that matters the most to you. I'll let you think for a moment. Okay, what's some things coming up? What are some things coming up? For me, I know it's going to be fitness. Like I told you guys, I've had the same goal for the last 3 years. It's time for you to see. Look, hey, it's time to see the scale say 199, all right? It's time for the scale to see 199. Fitness is for sure for me. Faith. For me, I had this goal this year of learning God's promises once a week. Was not consistent at all. And I think it's more the discipline of it all. And for me, I think it'll be best for me to just start fasting. So I used to fast once a week, and I want to go back to doing that. So faith and fitness is definitely 2. Then I only have for me left is feel, finance, and family and friends. I feel like I could really pick one for each goal, but I'm going to focus on the main ones. And with finance, I really need to pay off a credit card. So that's one of the priorities I'm going to say. Finance is paying off a credit card, because I've been doing really good in managing money. So I want to say that. But what are your top 3? Comment below. I want to know. You got to pick something that matters most to you right now. Not what sounds good, not what social media is pushing, like what your life is really asking for. And for me, my life is really asking for this credit card paid off. Again, it was a goal last year, the year before. It's time to see it. It's time to see it. So that's definitely for me. Now, I identified the 3 categories that we want, and I said we have identified the 3 categories we want. It's now it's time to talk about how to write these goals themselves. Each goal needs to be specific. It's going to be smart. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. In other words, we're not saying, hey, I want to, look at me, I want to enter Wonderland. You know, I can't say that. I gotta say, hey, I want this to be $199 or less by December 31st, 2026. Very specific. I can't say I want to do better. I can't say I want more money. I want to manage my money better. And one case I want to pay off debt. I need to pay off my Capital One credit card by December 2026. Okay? All right. I want to be healthier. Again, what does that look like? We're not saying these things. We want to say specifically, like, I want to increase my income by X by December 2026. I want to work out X times per week for X amount of months. I want to complete a certification by this date. Like, clarity. We gotta be clear. Clarity, it has to be there. We gotta be specific as possible, okay? Gotta make it smart. So take this time out, take a moment, and let's make these goals smart. See, I already started. So I'm gonna give y'all a little time. I'm gonna give you like a minute or 2. I just, you know what? Pause this video. For the sake of time, just pause this video, and then we'll start back, okay? Let's just pause. So I'm gonna pause here. Okay, good job. I'm glad. I'm really glad that you wrote your goals down. You did goals to make sure they're specific now. Again, for me, my goal is to, like I said, I want to work on faith and fasting once a week. I used to do really good on Wednesdays, so I think I'm gonna start back on Wednesdays. Fasting from 6 to 6 on Wednesdays. Or I may do 12 to 12. I don't know what that looks like. And it may be a thing of different quarters. Every quarter change it. But I do know I want to fast at least once a week. So for consistency purposes and being specific with my goal, let's say I'm going to fast the minimum. Because I'll say I can't say 12 o'clock because I typically do that anyway with intermittent fasting. So I had to make it hurt. So I'm going to say I'm fasting from 6 to 6 every Wednesday in the year 2026. That's faith for me, like fasting, really meditating. Because I say it kind of changes in the sense of what you do. Of course, corporate fast in January and mid-year we do corporate fasting, but I have to be realistic with that. But make sure your goals are specific, okay? That's more smart. Make sure your goals are smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound, okay? All right. Now we have the practical things. We list our categories. That was 1. 2, now we're going through and saying, okay, these are specific goals. I want to, like, one goal in this category that I want to achieve this year. Specific, right? I mean, smart. And the third thing now is, this is where we have to have, I'm going to teach you guys, and if you haven't watched this, read this book, it's called The 12-Week Year. It's a really good book, but you can kind of watch Cliff Notes. There's like a lot of videos talking about it on YouTube and as well. But this is where you get practical. It's 12-week year. And 12-week year is basically saying we treat every 12 weeks is like a whole new year. So every week is like a month. And we accomplish it. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, of these 3 goals, what can be done in 12 weeks? Instead of trying to accomplish everything in 12 months, we can really use a 12-week year. So here's how it works. You're going to take one goal. You're going to ask, what part of this goal can I realistically accomplish in 12 weeks? That becomes your quarter one focus. Okay? So you have 3 goals for the year. That essentially one primary focus per quarter, which would be good. But because, that helps with room for momentum, not burnout. But for me, I want to be under 199 pounds. I'm not telling y'all my stuff, but I'm not telling y'all my stuff, but I'm just gonna tell you like this. I'm not gonna lose all that weight in no 12 weeks. So I have to split it up, like, okay, how many pounds per quarter is gonna get me to that weight. Okay, because I ain't tell y'all my bitch. Y'all thought y'all got it. Y'all didn't. It's also too, I want to fast. That means I need to fast 12 times doing this 12 weeks. So I should have fast 12 times. So every week I need to fast. That's my thing. 12 times for the quarter. Makes sense? Okay, when it comes to quarterly, like I'll say this. I could pay my credit card off in 12 weeks. But baby, how else? That'll be all my money. How I'm gonna pay my bills and live? So that's not realistic. So I have to split it up quarterly. But knowing the goal and saying this, I'm not telling y'all my business. So for teaching purposes in this, we're gonna say it's $12,000, right? So every quarter I need to pay at least $3,000. So ideally, $1,000 a month need to go towards my debt. Sounds good? Makes sense, right? This approach, the 12-week approach, it really removes the pressure and it replaces it with progress. So we have to really go there. Now take a moment, pause. Again, pause and let us know like what you need. Take a moment, pause. Look at me. Now great job in setting it. Okay. Now let's shift into something else because I wanna really say this because this is very important. I'm very much of a person that how do I want to feel, and that's where I'm feeling now. Like how do I want to feel in 2026? I want to feel grounded. I want to feel free, confident. I want to feel present and very joyful. But I've learned something over time that I can't chase this feeling. I can't. I need to build systems that produce them. So for example, right, peace comes from boundaries. So you have to have boundaries. And confidence, you build confidence coming from consistency. That's why I always tell my clients, like, how you build consistency with the Naplex prep is you got to be confident in Naplex prep. You have to be consistent with your schedule. Some things have to be tremendously non-negotiable at all times. So it's definitely one. And freedom comes from that discipline. Like you know how you have to say no to some things and be disciplined as possible and to get to that freedom. Like, okay, now I'm debt free. So saying to me non-negotiable that I have to pay $1,000 every month to be non-negotiable. That's the kind of thing we have to say, those kind of things, right? So the goal isn't really to control our feelings. It's to commit to the actions that support the feelings that we want. And I'm saying that because that's where I feel like I want to feel, I want to be like a mood, I want to know this thing, but feelings come and go. It's just not realistic. I have to have something that's really going to support me. So this, like, the feelings not about control. It's about really committing to the actions that support the feelings you want. So you got to be very mindful of that. Okay? All right. So here's the simple process. 1, we choose our categories. Right? We chose our categories. 2, we then chose what goals we wanted. We had to choose the goals we wanted for them. Now 3, we had to make sure that we assign, like, we got the categories. Now we assigned the goal to the category. 3, we had to make sure the goals were smart. We had to make sure they were smart. And the 4th thing we had to do is decide what can be accomplished in 12 weeks. Let's focus on one goal. Sometimes yours may be focused on one goal per quarter. Mine is I can't accomplish all that in one quarter, but I can accomplish it throughout the quarter. So, but if I make these milestones in every quarter, I'm on to my annual goal, right? So that's definitely that. And that's really it. That's how we approach 2026. We're not gonna make it hard, complicated. We're just gonna make it simple, right? And then with this here, we don't necessarily need a fancy planner to require this. Don't need perfection. You can take a journal and go from it. But I know some people want journals and bullets and just fine. You can do all that. I may show you guys a system that I use for business and my life. If you want to know that, comment below and I'll create a video for it. But I don't know if you will let me know, okay? And that's one of the things of I'm going into 2026 and saying 2026 doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't need a perfect version of me. It just needs a focused version of me. A version willing to slow down, choose wisely, and move intentionally. So for you, don't rush this process, don't rush this part, just sit with it. If you can't come up with your goals right now, it's a to-do list. Maybe you got overstimulated, but take out time to just simply do it, okay? So don't rush this part. Just sit with it, write it all out, revisit it, okay? And just remember, goals aren't about pressure. They're about direction. And just let that be that. All right, now comment below if you want like a part 2 of me actually putting it in a software that you can actually measure and track, and you can like sync your calendar and all that good stuff. If you want that, let me know. But I'm not gonna let you tell me, okay? This is let's grow through this. We're gonna grow this together. All right, until next time, remember that pharmacy is on the viewer, and go be great. Now I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.